everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid. Welcome to this month's Astro Oracle reading. I'm super excited to be here with you. I'm going to be choosing 3 cards for every sign of the zodiac. So you're going to want to listen to me about your sun sign. That'll be your first 3 cards. Then you're going to look up your next 3 cards, which is your ascendant or your rising sign. Then the next 3 cards are going to be your moon. So you'll get 9 cards, unless you are a triple sign, in which case you're only going to get 3 cards. Or if you're a double sign, like you're a sun sign, Scorpio with Scorpio rising, you're only going to look at Scorpio. And if you have Gemini moon, that's what you look at, Scorpio and Gemini. So, and if you are a triple or a double, it's just a little stronger. And if you don't know how to do that, go to astro.com and you'll figure it out there. Okay? Alrighty, so these are the 3 cards for Aries for the month of March. So that's nice. It begins with a joyful muse, inspiration, and Jennifer. Oh, this is excellent. Okay, so here's what happens to you, Aries, this month. You're a little less all about you. So you're feeling inspired. The theme of this month is to connect to your inspiration. That's what you're actually being required to do. And it's what you're going to want to feel naturally to do. You're going to feel inspired this month. It doesn't matter what you're working on. You're going to feel that sense. Somehow it's going to connect to the expanded sense of inspiration. What's great about it is that you're in the observer mode. So the Watcher's card is all about the transpersonal viewpoint. In other words, you're getting above yourself. You're not taking the world personally. You're looking at all your creations and going, well, that's interesting. You can be a lot more objective this month. And that's for Aries. So that's a nice way to enter into the month as well. And then the benefactor card is great because it's about grace and generosity. So you're less me, and more, oh, I can be generous to this person, to these people, to these ideas. I can feel the grace of surrendering to what is. It's a really great card for community, for getting together with other people. It's a really great card for receiving the grace of others and the generosity of others. So there's a level of humility that can come in for the Aries personality in the month of March also. So beautiful cards for Aries. I love the joyful muse. It's my favorite card of the deck with this goofy looking cat. And again, there's a playful quality for Aries this month in March. And let's see what now is in store for Taurus. So Taurus, we're going to see how you operate in specifically. Now, if you've watched the forecast and prescription for the month, the general one, you'll get a little bit more information about how your cards will actually fit in with that. So I want to make sure that you watch that also. So here's for Taurus. Let's look at Taurus. The center card is the spiritual narcolepsy. Oh, this is good. Okay, so you might find this month that you're stubborn. You're a little stubborn about letting go of your comfort zone. And because of that, you're in the egoic mind a little bit and could fall asleep at the wheel. Now, all of us do that. All of us do that. Taurus, you're not the only ones that are going to do that. These cards really help you and flank you, but trust that you won't stay there very long. And it's typically when we don't listen to our intuition, we are on a really great track with our spirituality, etc., and all of a sudden we get very egoic and we get resentful at somebody. We start comparing ourselves to somebody else, or somebody pisses us off or something like that. And then we forget, and it could be even like, when you're driving and somebody cuts you off, you just went poof. You're not thinking about going, oh, I love you. I'm seeing you as radically accepting. Hey, so all of us are going to go there at some point. But for you, what's great is you're going to notice your resilience, because the Lost Compass card calls getting back to integrity. So this is really fast for you then. You're going to notice how much you've changed. You're not going to stay there very long. So this is a great month for you to do some inventory work and to track when you go off track and track how quickly you get back on track, so that you really get that you've come a long way. The universe is your partner here. This is the other card in the hand, and that's a beautiful remembrance too, going like, wait a sec, there is a small me, and I typically don't make the right decisions or the best decisions when it's me, I. Now, give it to me now, the way I want, how I want, when I want. Instead, it's like, oh, if I partner with the universe and I trust that partnership, then I'll move much more quickly through this and I'll start trusting the form that shows up in my life, because Taurus, you're all about form, right? You want to tangibly touch something in your life, and the changes that you've been required to do may be uncomfortable for you a little bit, but these are great cards. These are great cards. Okay, now let's look at Gemini in the month of March. All right, so let's choose 3 cards for Gemini. Confidence in your magic is your main theme for the month of March. Groupthink, diving into a task. Okay, so you are going to be juggling between knowing what it is that's right for you and dealing with the groupthink of others, the conditioning of society, the bigger picture kind of thought process. What does everybody want or think? And you're like, no, I'm bringing this amazing gift to you. So you're more a leader in the groupthink than you are the follower. And also, you're avoiding, you're thinking for yourself. That's the other thing. The magician's sword here with beside mindful says, no matter what is being told to me, let's say that you had the media tells us various stories, but this Gemini is saying, yeah, I'm going to think for myself here. And I trust in my intuition. I trust in my own magic. I trust in my mind. I trust in making my own decisions, etc. So although this is decent information, thank you, I know how I need to use it for myself, right? So this is, again, using what you learn, what you're exposed to, and bringing it into the most integrous version for you. And the way to avoid being so impacted or affected by the collective energy that may overwhelm you is to dive into a task. So I know when I paint, I'm completely focused on that painting. I don't think about anything but the process of creativity. That's me. So Gemini could be diving into a mental task. You could be writing something. So you're just completely focused on what it is that you need to do, and you're ignoring this other thing. And that's actually the right way for you to be this month of March. If something comes up that doesn't feel in alignment with you, but we're all moving through a process of evolution and change, pretty obvious this month. So you know what to do. All right, now let's look at Cancerians, which is me. The mama bears of the universe. Wooniverse, the Wooniverse. Yes, I'm so excited that everybody's listening to my Wooniversal podcast. It's the Inside the Wooniverse. Last week we had Dr. David Hamilton, who wrote the book Why Woo Woo Works. And it was really awesome. And this week we have Abiola Abrams, just phenomenal, really sensitive conversation that we had. It's really beautiful. I hope you listen. Okay, so Cancers. Let's look at Cancerians. Here we go. 4 Cancers this month. Yeah, you need some time out. Huh. You hear that, Mark? Little bit of time out for the Cancer personality, and to allow it's the winter's dream. It's to allow yourself to percolate, to percolate on your ideas and getting yourself back to the integrity of things, like what's true for you. You also have the spiritual narcolepsy. This is really due to probably perfectionism, the sense of wanting things to be a certain way and not trusting your partnership with spirit. And that's that triggering sense that sometimes Cancerians, I'll just speak for myself, I can be that way when I'm really hanging on the Cancer claws or on something that I think it should be. And this is like, well, no, maybe it could be something else. You need to stay open to that. So for all Cancerians, this could be coming up for you this month. What's beautiful is about getting back to integrity. It's about remembering your values. What's important to you? That's way more important than anything right now. And to give yourself time for your ideas and allow them to change. Just because you become fixated on something doesn't mean it's the thing, right? So stay open, stay teachable. And the gestation period is remembering you're birthing something. And maybe you think that this is born already, but it says not. It says to continue to allow whatever it is that you're involved in to grow and grow at its own pace. Okay, now let's take a look at Leo. Let's look at what Leo's doing this month of March. You're completing something. You're completing. Ooh, this is awesome. So whatever you have been going through, Leos, if you've been having some pain or grief or whatever, and this has been tough for you, you are coming to a close of a whole chapter of your life right now. This is so true around grief. This is so true around painful subjects. This is around trauma. This is around, you coming to terms with how your past has impacted your present, how your past has impacted your personality, and how you have been able to transmute that into something beautiful. And you become more resonant with the world that you're here to serve. The resonating whale song is such a beautiful card. It is about resonating to the right people, places, things, organizations, communities, this real sense of being true to yourself and the world, and it being the truest, most beautiful thing that you have to offer. So yeah, this is a really good, again, the inventory month for Leos. It's like, yeah, I've done this, I'm doing it. And if you have been committing to a spiritual path, this is where you're at right now. This is great. Now let's take a look at Virgo. Okay. Ta-da! Virgo, also resonating. Very, very interesting. So let's see that. Also completion and the divine matrix. So this is so interesting. Resonating is about when you feel that something is aligned. So because the whale song is your primary card for the month of March, for Virgos, this really is about the sacred quality of being in resonance with that which is true for you. In resonance to this kind of, you can't really put words to it. It's a feeling state. It's a feeling state. And there's also the divine matrix and completion is here too. So the divine matrix it's about your spirituality. It's about resonating with that ineffable, omniscient, I can't put a finger on it feeling about the world. And it starts to feel holy and sacred and healthy and good. And again, the closing door here, it's saying no, finally, I'm done. I'm done with this particular lesson. I'm done with, I thought I had it, but now I know what I'm missing. So this is all about, I know what I'm missing now. I can say, okay, I'm done learning that. Now let's do something new. And this is really beautiful. And you're always led by spirit. And this is what the galactic mushroom is all about. It's the divine matrix. You are in it. You are in that beautiful connectivity with others. And there's quite a lot of magic coming for the Virgo personality this month. Let's now look at Libra. Woo! I love working with this card deck, I have to say. I mean, they're all my babies, but this one is the one that I've been working with the most lately. I just love working with it. Okay. And you can get this on anywhere you buy Oracle cards. That means bookstores, go local if you can, Hay House itself, Amazon, and wherever Oracle cards are sold. Now they have their own section, just like a self-help section. So it's super cool. Libra. Ta-da! Root girl. Okay, the disowned self, deep diver, and this is very interesting. So if you were a slight itty-bitty people pleaser at all in the past, that's coming to an end. The disowned self is the quality of self that feels for the Libra personality that you have to solve everyone else's issues, that you have to have balance for everybody, that you need to be harmonious and that you need to please people or make sure they're okay, et cetera, can come from a place where you don't think you're enough. So the message for Libra this month is you're enough. And when you let go, so the vanishing mirror is about looking at yourself for approval. This is about letting go approval. So this is the month where you finally let go approval. And it's something is going to happen where you realize you don't need it anymore. And that's a real revelation for the Libra personality, right? And it's about beauty and seeing that beauty, the invitation to see beauty even when things aren't exactly the way you want them to be. And again, the best way to do it is to dive into whatever it is that you are doing on a much more impersonal way. That's going to really help you through this revelation, because this is your revelation this month. Like, I do not need to people please. I am worthy. I am enough. I don't have to add. I don't have to make it better than it is, that the beauty exists in me. And I need to start seeing that too. That's a beautiful thing for Libras. Now let's take a look for Scorpio. Here we go. Okay, Scorpio, the dream thief. That's the refusal of the call. Let's see what's happening here. Ancestral. So this is part of the hero's journey. And my husband's in the middle of writing his amazing novel. May I just say that about you, Mark? Like a genius, fabulous. That's part of it. It's always part of the novel writing where the hero, refuses the call. The hero's offered an opportunity to change, etc. Go, no, I don't want to. Right? So, so Scorpios, you could be feeling a little digging your heels in a tiny bit. And that's okay, because the way you get out of that's your thing to transcend this month, is actually to get clarity and get organized around your next step. So that will really help any kind of fear you might have of moving forward. And then to trust the lay of the land that you already know. There's ancestral wisdom here. So what is it that you already know? What has been passed down to you through your ancestors? That's where you're being invited now, by the way. This could only be a teeny bit of a refusal. It doesn't suggest you're going to be walking to the entire month and going, no. It's more like, I have a little resistance here. Where do I go? Where would I go for help? And it is about organization, clarity. It's about really doing the feng shui around your home, getting rid of all the cluttery, clattery obstacles in your head too. And also realizing that I have this, I've got this, and I'm here to make the next generation better. I'm here to make my life better. I'm here to make things better for other people. And I do it in a deep way. I don't do anything surface. I don't know a Scorpio in the world that does anything surface. This is the deep divers of us all. And you got to trust yourself. You really got to trust yourself. You are heading in the right direction. Okay. Sagittarius. So we are doing a deep spiritual dive, and we are starting to see stuff happen. So Sag, you're having a great month this month. You're really, really plugged in. You're seeing signs. You're really getting, oh, wow, these little epiphanies everywhere. Bing, 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 bing. And stuff that you might have thought was never going to happen is going to start to happen this month. So you've done a lot of preparatory work up until now, and you're going to start to see some of those, like a tulip, or what is it? The crocuses come out of the ground. I'm not sure, Mark, which ones are they come out of in March. We get these little flowers. He doesn't remember. He just knows. He just knows. Flowers? He knows how to buy them for me, though. That's good. He definitely knows the right kind. Okay, so, they come out of the ground and they're like, oh, so that's what you're seeing. They're not the big flowers. It's not like the whole garden. It's like, bing, one little thing. And it starts to show up for you this month. And you're like, ooh, this is really good. And you become more adaptable to the form it shows up in, too. That's also good. So the Sagittarius personality this month are going, okay, so when am I getting what I want? But it's like, ooh, that looks interesting. That's a new thing. I didn't think I wanted that, but I actually might. So how do I adapt and get resilient to this new thing in front of me? I don't think you're going to have much problem at all this month to do that. Let's look at Capricorn now. Okay. Ta-da! Ooh, reconciliations. This is interesting. And compassion. Ooh, possibility for union. Ooh, this is the apology month for Capricorn. If you have had any issues with other people, remember we had beloved, that was the wild card. One of the wild cards was the radical acceptance and the beloved. This is about bringing that olive branch and saying, hey, I'm taking my side of the street here. I want to reconcile. And it may not even be about, oh yeah, I want you to be my best friend. It's more about, I want to let all this go. I want to let my resentments go. I need to forgive for myself, right? So it's not always like, hey, let's go hang out together. It's much more about compassion for self and others. Like nobody is perfect. And you're starting to get that sense of like, oh, okay, maybe people do things differently from me, and maybe I might have caused them some discomfort. And it could also be that you're receiving this from other people as well. You might be receiving compassion from others, etc. But what I love about the Sky Bridge here is that you might be really shocked and surprised by who may accept this new development. You might be thinking, oh, they're just, and then all of a sudden there's this beautiful moment between you and somebody else that just comes up and goes, wow, what a nice softening between us. I can move forward knowing that I don't have this, thing on my back, this burden. Because we carry burdens when we have resentments for other people or we have harsh judgments for other people. Those are like, we carry like thorny things with us. What if we could put that down and make it soft and say, hey, I get it. We're not perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. It's okay. Right? Wouldn't it be nice to take that attitude? So, and that's what the Capricorn is being invited to do this month. However that works for you, that's what's going to work for everybody. Now let's say Aquarius. Oh, Aquarius. Oopsie. A tidy house, clarity and organization, not taking things personally, and rising above the fray. I always find that the tidy house card, no matter who it is really, really important so that we don't fall prey to only identifying with the clutter or the chaos external to us. Like, I will be safe only when that goes away. That's not what this is. This is about having a sense of the personal environment that you're in. And that means, having better organization around you. That's just very literal, cleaning your house, literally, getting rid of clutter, literally, and getting things simple. It's about making things more simple when they're quite complicated. What I love about the two cards flanking this for Aquarius this month is not taking things personally at all. The transpersonal gives you you already have access to that. The cards are access cards. Like that, this is what we have access to. This is the story that we're being invited into playing out. And Eyes of the Eagle rising above the fray means you can see the big picture. So Aquarius is asked to see the bigger picture and not taking things personally. Even if it feels personal, don't let it. It's actually not. So that's a really good reminder for Aquarius this month. Now it's time for Pisces. This is your month, Pisces. This is March. This is the fishy month. And this is where you get to be you. And let's see what this month has in store for Pisces. First card, Balancing Act. Dances on one foot. Feast of Plenty. And the Hollow Bone, which is about teachability. All right. So great. This is really good because remember all the cards, if you've listened to the whole month forecast and prescription, you will have heard that I talked about the whole flexibility, adaptability, things changing, recognizing we have to transmute our pain and all that stuff. We heard about all that, right? And so you being very mystical and emotional, you're a water sign, sometimes you could get overwhelmed. Sometimes you can feel those feelings. But here it's saying, no, I can do this. Well, I'm balancing on one foot here. I can stand like a stork. I can do it. I'm able to balance. No big deal. I can balance my emotions and my mind as long as I stay. Remember, we talked about all those new beginning cards too. Teachable. Right? So this is a month to absorb information and choices and their consequences. And I'm going to say but. Because the idea is, what are you going to fill your mind with? Because the consequence of that is going to be what you learn. So remember, where your energy goes is where matter is going to accumulate, right? So you're going to start to see more of it in the outer world. So choose wisely what it is that you're going to put into yourself. And what are you going to absorb? I think it's a great time to take a class or to find your favorite teacher and listen to my podcast, Inside the Wooniverse, hint, and really get with that and say, okay, I think I want to learn this, and just get super focused. And if you feel super influenced by any kind of, polarizing stuff on social media, just don't look at it. Just don't look at it. It'll be there tomorrow. It'll be there in April. Just stick with this month of March of being teachable, recognizing you've got it, you've really got it, and be mindful of your choices. And know that the universe loves you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget, Inside the Wooniverse, itwpodcast.com is the website, the webpage, but you can hear Inside the Wooniverse on all podcast platforms, like all of them. Apple, what's that one? Stitching?
Spotify,
Stitch? Is it called Stitch or Stitcher?
Stitcher.
I don't know.
They know.
They know. You will know because I don't know. But apparently they're on like all of them. So my podcast is everywhere. Podcast everywhere. Listen to Dr. David Hamilton. He was so awesome, super friendly, and really we geeked out on that one because we promised you scientists, sages, and celebrities, and we're delivering. And also we have the most beautiful Abiola Abrams this week coming up. She is talking about her beautiful book and life where she is. It's a really great conversation. We ask some fun questions too at the end. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hey everybody, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment. We love to read the comments and listen to Inside the Wooniverse podcast. It's brought to you from the corner of Fringe in Maine. Don't you want to hang out with me at the corner of Fringe in Maine? You do. I know you do. Wherever podcasts exist, there I am.